Here we go. Urban Matters matter in the building. Let's do it.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up. Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up. Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up. Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.
What's good? What's good, fam? I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juwce. And we back in the building for another episode of Urban Matters Matter live chat. So y'all come on into the building and join us today. We're gonna chop this thing up and we're gonna get this hot fire going. I know y'all ready for it. Let me make sure we got all our things running tight. I think we got everything tight. All right, y'all make sure y'all can hear my voice. Thanks for joining here at Urban Matters, my live chat. Make sure I'm not echoing in, fam. I don't have any feedback, right? Y'all let me know in the comment section. And I want to just thank you for joining us today. And y'all already know. I gotta hear the feed. I gotta hear the feedback, man. Y'all playing with me. Stop playing with me and give me the feedback, man. I need the feedback on that debate, or was that a mumble fest, something like that? But I gotta, I just gotta get to the bottom of what happened. What was that? Come on, let me just be honest, real quick. Let me just be for real. When those are the two choices we have in America, Trump or either Biden. And what we saw last night, y'all know we're in trouble. We're in trouble. It's just that simple. And I know y'all don't want to talk about it. It's gonna be a lot of people gonna put their head in the sand and ignore what just happened. But this is the thing. Just to be honest, this guy Biden been running and been covered for 4 years. 4 years. He's been running, ducking during the pandemic. That's when he ran for the election. He was in his basement. He wouldn't come out and do any debates. And then the debates that he did come out, he didn't have anybody at those debates. Nobody. They were empty debates. I meant to say rallies or whatever he had, and there was nobody there. And now he's had to come out and face the piper, and you see what you got. You see what you voted for. You see exactly what you voted for. So y'all come on into the building. Come on into the building, man. We gotta chop this up. We can't run and hide any longer. We can't. Black folks are gonna have to take accountability. Black folks are gonna have to take accountability. And it's just that simple. Y'all gonna have to take accountability. Y'all voted for this fool and y'all let Trump just torch him. Trump just torched him. Come on. Let's talk about it. Don't hide. Come on into the building. I'll wait. I'll wait I'm gonna wait this out. I got some guests want to join us in a minute. Y'all might as well come on in. Let's chop this thing up, man. We got to talk about this. We have to talk about this. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous what we saw last night, man. That guy Trump didn't even have to try hard, man. And this the best. Let's just go back to 2019. And you remember when it was the Democratic convention, and I think it was the primaries, and the Democrats had over 25 people running for president, and it was a complete rat race. Kamala Harris was bashing Biden. Now Kamala Harris is Biden's vice president, and y'all went out and went for it. I don't understand it. Y'all remember back in 2019, this was during the pandemic, when Kamala and Joe Biden got kicked out of the race. They got kicked out of the primaries. Yeah, they got kicked out of the primaries. Y'all remember that? They got kicked out of the primaries. I remember that specifically back in 2019. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris got kicked out. What's going on, Big Mac? Come on into the building. You got to turn your camera on. I think you may have your camera off. And they got kicked out. Y'all remember that? You keep popping out, Matt. Popping in and out. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, you in the building. I don't know what's happening, bro. Can you see it? I don't understand what's going on, my dude. Are you in the building? I'm going to send you another link, Matt. Just make sure you hold on. Hold on. Let me send you another link. It's my homie. It's my homie, Big Matt. Let's see. See my boy here. See if I can get him in, y'all. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm doing some homework real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, man. I'm bringing you in, bro. Hold on. Send you another link. All right. I just sent you another link, Matt, if you can hear me. I'm trying to bring you in. I don't understand it. I'm trying to bring you in. I don't know what's going on, Big Mac. I don't understand it. I'm trying to bring you in, my dude. Are you there? I'm trying to bring you in, my dude. Are you there? Big Mac, come on into the building. You keep bringing in and out. Okay, I see you now. There you go. I see you coming in. I can see you, but you keep going in and out. But yeah, y'all remember that though. 2019. Y'all remember that? 25 recipients running for the Democrat Party. And Joe Biden and Kamala, they got kicked out early in the running. So I want to know what's going on. I want to know. I want to know. Somebody please fill me in on what's happening with this, man, because I don't get it. And so now y'all went out, Black Americans went out in 2020 and voted this clown show into office. I don't believe it. And now y'all complaining. Now you all are complaining. I just do not understand it. I just do not understand it. I'm trying to bring you in, Big Mac. Go to the link again. I sent you another link. Check your email. See if you can come in through that link. I see you coming in. You might be have a bad signal or something, Matt.
Okay, yeah, I was. It kept connecting me and disconnecting me.
Okay, I got you. I got you in the building. Thanks for joining us today, Matt.
Yeah, I had to connect to the Wi-Fi, the mobile data, and I guess this rain got it kind of thrown off. I don't know.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. We got our professor in the building. Hey, we call him Professor Juggler Vein. Now he blanking in and out. Now he's coming in and out. I don't know what's going on.
It's the mobile data right now, I believe. So, because I was on 5G, I had full bars, but it just wouldn't stay connected. When I connected to that house Wi-Fi, it seems like it's more
Yeah,
of a,
yeah. They acting all janky with the signals, man, because they know we about to light this shit up. So they acting
uh,
all janky.
right. I thought the 5G was supposed to be where it's at anyway.
Yeah, they lighting it up. They know we finna get ready to light it up tonight. I bet. But you know what? Sometime, when the algorithms get too worked up on Facebook and different social media platforms, sometimes this happens, man. It's just things just start getting janky.
Yeah, I
You
know
know what I'm
we
saying?
ain't causing nothing to converge, but I something that I found very interesting. It happened to me a couple times actually too. When too many people are close together, that's why I say that it's really could be something that could be really something to think about in the future. But as far as
Hmm.
communication goes, I went to a concert one time, and because everybody is in one place, especially if everybody got Verizon or T-Mobile, your
Right.
service is non-existent. When too many people get close together, cell phone service gets whacked.
Yeah.
Nothing to too much do with what we got on top of tonight, but just something to think about in case of an emergency. You
Right.
know, most definitely you got to have an alternative way to communicate. I've seen here lately some companies been coming out with cell phones, tight walkie talkies that are long range though, in case the cell phone towers go down. So that's just
Oh, okay.
a little something to throw out there. I found very interesting because I didn't realize we could do that. Too many people get close together, your cell phone won't work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a where is that? You ever seen one of these right here before? I don't know if you can see it, but this is what I
Not
got.
yet.
Hold on, let me show you what I got here. And I picked this up a long time ago, man. But this let me see. Hold up, let me get you on radio. See it?
Yeah, 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 I see it. I
It's a
think I've seen that
satellite.
before.
It's a satellite
Satellite
phone.
phone. Gotcha.
And look, man, this thing tough, man. I'm telling you, it's tough. What's going on, Professor? You keep blanking in and out on us, man.
Yeah, I'm remote in the hood, Dr. Juice.
Oh, okay. I was just telling Matt they acting janky with the cell phone coverage today, man. What's going on
Yeah,
with that?
uh, I don't know, but I'm remote in the hood.
Yeah.
It's Friday. It's
I was
Friday.
telling this what I use sometime when I can't pick up my signal. To see this here.
Uh,
This my satellite phone. Everybody need
yeah,
one of these, man. Everybody need one of these.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get it. It's Friday. Black people. Let me tell you something that black people gonna do on Friday. Black people gonna
Hmm.
barbecue. Black people gonna barbecue, and they gonna party, Dr. Juice.
Exactly. They ain't
We
gonna go
sell.
spend that money up. That's why we can't circulate that dollar in the hood, man. We soon as we get paid on Friday, man, that dollar
eh,
gone out the hood. It's zap out
We
the
are.
hood.
Hey, see, hey, Dr. Juice. This is
Yeah.
why we can't. This is why we can't be canceled because firewood, cooking wood, it underwrites our infrastructure. So if
Hmm.
they gonna try to cancel us, they got to come to Georgia and cut every tree down, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
Look. I was just kind of show the audience. I'm out here in the hood, man. On the weekend. On the weekend,
Absolutely.
we out here getting that cash, Dr. Juice.
Get that money, man. That's what time it is, man. I love to see brothers uh, conducting themselves and transacting themselves in commerce. I love it.
So
That dollar, man, we gotta get it.
I'm gonna spend. Let me. I know that you had asked me to join, so I'm gonna say a few things, and then I don't want to disrupt the show, but let me say a couple things, Dr. Juice. Because I've been talking about generative AI. I asked you earlier today, how will black people make money? Okay, how when all this is said and done, how will black people make money? Now, we've been sold a bag of goods. My generation, we let you down. They told us to go to school, get a good education so we can get a good job. Now, my
Hmm.
generation let you down because what happened, we didn't learn how to do nothing else. We stuck our head in the Bible and we went and gave our lives to corporate America. Okay? Now we got all these worthless degrees. We got these worthless degrees because corporate America is not going to hire black people. I'm teaching Vietnamese right now. I'm teaching Vietnamese right now to work for American companies that's coming out of China. Okay?
Hmm.
I got 5 degrees and I'm out here selling wood. I like it. I love it. But what I'm saying is black folks are going to have to be innovative. We're going through a digital transformation, and you're going to have to pivot. When all of this is said and done, how are you going to make money? How are you going to survive? Okay? They giving the Medicaid, Social Security to people who hadn't paid no dues. Your ancestors, my ancestors, built this country for free. These people living in luxury hotels, man. So,
Yeah.
so my message, I'll try to jump back on later on, but my message is that you need to think about going forward. When you look at the statistics, when you look at the data, how are you going to make money when all this is said and done? How are you going to make money?
Absolutely.
They bring these folks in and replace you.
Great question. Great question, Professor. And that's definitely one of the
Yes.
pathways that I'm talking about. Exactly. See that, y'all? That's commerce. That's that's
Well,
that's
not only
that's
that,
money right there.
but let me say this, Dr. Juwce. This is a natural resource.
Natural
We got to
resource.
go back. We got to go back like our ancestors did. We need to connect with our cousins over in the motherland, and we need to figure out how do you take a natural resource, and monetize it. This is a natural resource. Black folks on Friday, they're gonna buy this. You know why? Because black folks are doing a barbecue all weekend. They're getting ready for the 4th, Dr. Juice, so they buy this.
Sure enough, boy. Yeah, this your get off season for sure.
I
It's
got
your
the
get
dope.
off
Hey,
season, my dude.
look, I got the dope boys scratching their head.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
moving wood like dope. Hey, look,
Exactly.
man, I'll get back with you, Dr. Juice, man, to you and your audience.
All right. Thanks for joining us, bro. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. He made some great points real quick, like too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute, salute, salute to the professor. Every time he bring that hot fire, man. And that, matter of fact, let me answer his question. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about, protesting and silent protest by sitting out this vote, like I sat out the last national election. That is why I'm so adamant about it, Matt, because listen, I'm not going to just keep giving my vote away. I'm not
Right.
going to just keep giving my vote away. And the answer, professors, how we gonna make money? One of the ways them Democrats want to get ready to break them damn reparations off and write some damn checks, because that's the only way I can see them coming out of what this hellhole they in right now. Would you agree? They in
Yeah,
trouble. After
yeah,
that
yeah,
bullshit from last night, they're in trouble, bro. And that's all I can
yeah.
say. And you could be a fool. You can be old game goofy behind Negro out here, keep voting the same way, keep pledging their allegiance to the Democrat Party, bro, and wind up with nothing. Then your kids wind up with nothing. Their kids wind up with nothing. I mean, somewhere it's got to stop. The constant uh, nothing burgers have to stop somewhere, man. This generational curse that we just vote our way into oblivion, it's just it gotta stop, and that's all I'm saying, Matt. What you wanna add something to that, brother Matt?
Well, I just appreciate the professor bringing up a point that I don't hear a lot of elders talk about, and that is how the I hate to use the word failure because I don't like to think of that my people as failures either. It's just that they did the best as what they thought with what they thought they had.
Right, right.
But they do have to come to terms where maybe we didn't make such the best decision because we should have kept with trades. Like you said, we should have kept with commerce. And I like the fact that he brought up connecting with our cousins. Big
Yes,
word, cousins in the motherland. Listen, we are not in denial that we are of the same lineage as those people across the world over there. But what we have to realize is we might have to do uh some dealings with other folks for us to kind of stimulate our own economy here in America because they're not giving us the tools properly to generate income. Like it's cool that he found wood, and found a way to circulate it uh, generate him some revenue. We need some more products and services though that are solely exclusive to us though. And I think he made a great point about connecting with, you know, innovators across with our cousins, because they probably have some things that we probably could sell, but we just do not let it need to pass through corporate America so they can sell it to us for retail to resell. We need something exclusive. I think he made some great points there that don't really get highlighted enough, especially the one about how our generation kind of let us fall by the wayside and just like you said, kind of fed into the idea of corporate America so strongly.
Yeah,
And we talk about the religious aspect of it till we turn purple. We devoted so much time and effort into that. We let our next generation start from zero or even further backwards. Not as far as like uh, commodities. Yeah, we might have shelter and electric and water, but as far as the passage of generational wealth, as we should have passed it down, that didn't go very well.
absolutely. It didn't. It didn't. And I got a homeboy, man, from he lives in Dade County, by the way, of Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
And he got a channel. I think I hit you up with his link a couple of times. His name of his channel is O Ye Dry Bones, the Helios Biblios. And he got a famous saying, man. He got a famous saying, and that saying is, America is the home of the perfect slave.
Yes.
He said we're the home of the perfect slave. And I had to keep asking him. I said, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Absolutely.
Home of the perfect slave. You want to chime in on that? What you think that mean, brother man?
Uh, First point to be made is that's why a lot of religions don't believe in a credit system, because debt means slavery. This is the home of a perfect slave. We got a credit system. If I can put you in debt, I can forever make you need me. The credit and debt system itself is to make you a perfect slave, and the fact that we don't understand that we've been conditioned to be America's consumers, and not understanding even further in delving into that you have been molded to be only consumers. Like, we're not going to tell you financial tools, right? We're going to set you up in a public school system that keeps you pretty much a factory worker. So I mean,
Mm,
those are other pillars that we can go into,
mm,
but most definitely we've been kind of set up to be consumers and not realizing it. I think that's what he mean by having a perfect slave, because if you can create something that a person don't know they're in bondage, then that's perfect. You don't even realize it.
wow. And that's
We
what we are.
Most people are living right. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. But yeah, go ahead.
Paycheck to paycheck and don't see anything wrong with it. And that's the
Yeah.
sad reality. They don't see nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, I tell people sometimes, like, bro, you a high blood pressure, or you a kidney failure, or you a heart attack or a stroke away from being homeless. Because if you live in check to check and you get
Right.
a type of health condition and you can't work
Right.
anymore, what happens next?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this is what
You
I
are one
understand.
emergency away from being homeless all the time.
There you go. One emergency away from being homeless. Absolutely. I mean, it's not rocket science, bro. And it's like, man, we just don't understand what economics maturity is.
Right.
Financial maturity, we don't understand what that is. And it's not like, I know you say a lot of times, like, even if you had your own land and your own crops on your own property, at least you would be able to survive and maintain for a minute or two. But
Right.
no, we don't, because once you get sick, like I was saying, you're gonna starve. Not only gonna starve, you're gonna get kicked out of your home, you're gonna be homeless. So it'll be beautiful if you could have like a little piece of land somewhere with a little mobile home or whatever on it, where you
Right.
got to, and it don't take much. That's the sad reality about it, man. It don't take much
Right.
to have
Well,
that.
that right. I mean, I think that kind of falls into that category where I briefly spoke on a second ago about not when we haven't been given the financial education on purpose knowing the finance, because I saw a guy talking about just how easy it is to get a loan for like rural land, but we don't know that. We don't know. We don't do it because we don't know.
I don't know. Scared to do it. It's like we scared to
And
take that leap,
right,
man. That
and
risk, man.
hey, what those slaves was like when they told them they were free? Right, some of them was scared to leave because that's all they knew.
That's
Same
all
thing.
they know. That's
It's
all they
same
know.
thing. You scared to go out here and run to that big money or run to that bank and ask for a big loan because it's so new to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You scared to ask for 30 or $40,000 because you think you're not supposed to get it.
Exactly. I'm trying to go get 30, 40 million. Feel me?
Right.
I know. Sometimes a lot of us are scared, or uh, conditioned to believe that we don't know what to do with
Absolutely.
that type of money. But shit, me. I know what to do with it. Guarantee I'm gonna make it pop off. I'm gonna make it happen, man. But yeah, man, like I said, that's what we're trying to do at Urban Matters Black Media Group. We're trying to introduce new innovative ways, creative ways, as the professor like to say, digital transformational ways that we can grow into this new millennium and do something different than our ancestors and some of our forefathers and some of our loved ones and our elders did. We got to do
Right.
things differently because we're in a whole different climate. We're in a whole different atmosphere. And you can't keep doing the same goofball stuff we've been doing. And I'm a victim of it, man. Listen, I'm a victim and I'm guilty of, taking my money, man. I made good money. I used to, man, I used to work for UPS and I
Absolutely.
did 21 years and did an early retirement because I got in a pretty bad accident. Well, I didn't get in an accident. Somebody else got in an accident, but I got hurt, and I had my exodus out of that company, and man, I had a nice little bit of change when I left, and I started my own business and maintained and sustained my own business for about at least 13, 14 years before the pandemic hit, and the pandemic kind of took me out. But the thing about it, I worked for that company, making that good money all that time, and it never fathomed or it never dawned on me that I could open up my own business even while I was making good money at that job. But sometimes all we know and conditioned to believe is we worked them 30 years, and I'm gonna work
Right.
these 30 years, and when I get off, I'm gonna go party, I'm gonna go to the club, I'm gonna turn off, I'm gonna put some big rims on my truck, and
Right.
that was entertaining to me. But
Yeah.
what I know now is like you don't have to just be a corporate slave and work for the corporation for 30 years. You can take that money, flip it, and start 2 and 3 businesses. Right now I got 3, 4 businesses that I operate. And
Absolutely.
I haven't looked back yet. And I'm like, I'm living beautiful right now, and I'm learning how to manage my money, and I have financial maturity and financial literacy, and I have a nice portfolio. Matt, we talk back and forth about the stock market, and we talk that type of language on this platform. Me and Matt, we're not any type of advisors or anything, but we
Uh,
do have common knowledge when it comes to trading
well,
different
I always like
commodities
to
and whatnot.
absolutely. I always like to have a little bit of humility. Everyone can say, they've definitely fallen victim to it. We were born into it. You couldn't help but fall victim to them at some point somewhere in your life.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
you just have to go ahead. I feel like it's best to, you know, uh lick your wounds and go ahead and call it for what it was and let count your losses.
Yes, sir.
But after we figure out what's going on, don't keep trying to protect things that don't even make sense. And I feel like
Yes,
that's
sir.
kind of where we're at, and a lot the sentiment of a lot of us moving forward. Too many things don't make uh conversion don't make sense to us as a community. And that debate, which I know we're gonna get into, uh, shows a lot of that too, how out of touch the people running the country are with our needs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But man, we just gotta get into this thing. Let's just chop this thing up, man, because we ain't gonna be on here long. We got a couple of more people coming into the building. But
Okay.
I just gotta just share some of this stuff with the family. And this little setup right here that I'm presenting to y'all. This is on the wallstreetjournal.com. And it says that, and I shared this earlier with the family on the platform, Urban Matters Matter live chat. Democrats privately discussed replacing Biden on the presidential ticket. Now that's what they were saying. I have, bro, like my wife was watching it, so I kind of chimed in on the end of it, and you know how they have the commentators, you know, giving their after the debate commentation, and they said that there's a lot of big time Democrats coming out, different donors and different bigwigs in the Democrat Party say, man, we can't let this guy run, man. We have to replace this guy. We cannot allow this guy to run, man. So they're saying it themselves. And so let me go to another quick clip I had here pulled up, man. I just want to show y'all that, listen, you can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. You feel what I'm saying, man? You can't. I want to just show you from
Absolutely,
him.
man.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
You can't. I'm a Trump supporter and all. I'm a Trump supporter. That's what I am. I'm a true supporter. How y'all like that?
Absolutely.
I deal with the truth.
Absolutely. We truth seekers all the way, all the time. What?
Absolutely. So here you go right here. Let
You
me
know
see. Let
me.
me show
You know me. I like to take it a little deep. What are we here for? If
Go ahead.
other than authenticity, we here for authenticity.
Exactly. A lot of people can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth, Matt. You know what I'm saying? They can't handle it. Tell me if you can hear that
Okay.
commentation. It's something like a little voice in the background. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear nothing thus far.
Okay. All right. So
I can hear you loud and clear, but nothing
that's dead
else.
right there. Okay. So let's listen to this here.
You have to be very clear. This was a very bad night for Joe Biden. I have been talking to Democrats as this debate progressed, and you are starting to see here at least privately discussions among Democrats about whether or not Biden can effectively go on with this campaign against Donald Trump. Donald Trump did go through rapid fire lies. I mean, a machine gun of lies at times during this debate. He said things like everybody wanted Roe v. Wade repealed, that everything was rocking good when he was president. There were no wars. The Unselect Committee deleted all the evidence that Nancy Pelosi refused 10,000 National Guard troops. None of that was true. And Biden was not effectively able to bring the argument back to him. I talked to one Democratic member of Congress who is a strong supporter up till now of Joe Biden, saying to me, I am in a state of shock. He is diminished to an extent that has become undeniable. Biden's going to have to answer these questions. This was not just one night in the campaign. This was the night in the campaign so far. Another Democrat said, I wish this performance had been during the Democratic primary. If it were, we would have had a different nominee.
No question in your mind, given what you're hearing from your sources, that this is a conversation that's now underway.
It's a conversation that is being conducted privately at this point, David. The big question is, will any of it become public? Because it is very difficult to imagine a scenario where Biden can be replaced as the nominee. You would have to somehow open up the convention. Biden would have to, be the one leading it and saying, I'm going to release my delegates. There's absolutely no indication that he is willing to do this. And no Democrat is going to want to further damage Biden beyond what we saw tonight by being the first to come out and say that publicly, unless it's determined that there is truly a viable path to find another nominee.
It is. You heard it themselves from the Democrats.
You know what this reminds me of?
And then you heard what he said.
This reminds me of. Hold on, we got connection to it. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I was gonna say this reminds me of the older person who doesn't want to come to terms with where they are. I mean, could you imagine being a president and every day having to be scrutinized based on your cognitive, not really your age, just your cognitive thinking? I mean, as a man, you have to, that would be like, damn, I would sit back and think, am I really slow? Am I really slowing down? You gotta, so like you said, they rather crash or burn. It's apparent. These questions wouldn't be coming up if people didn't notice it. So
There you
it
go.
reminds me of like this old man who doesn't want to start, and the family who keeps just trying to boost them to it, however they see fit.
There you go. And it's like I saw it way back in 2020. I was aware that this was a shit show, because like I say, in 2020, 2019, there was over 25 contenders running for the Democrat ticket during the primaries. You remember that? They had almost
Yeah,
25, 30 people trying to run. I'm like, what the? And so Kamala and Joe, they got kicked out early in the running. So, but then once all the other people just didn't, measure up, Gavin Newsom, they had a couple of more people. Who else was trying to run? I mean, they had so many people, man. The one lady from Minnesota, they had so many. I can't even think back that because 2019 was a blur, man, with that pandemic thing. But they
yeah,
had so many people trying to run, and then at the end of the day, they said, "Okay, damn, well, let's go back and get Joe." Then they said, "We got Joe. He's got the experience. He ran under Obama. I call him Mister. You ain't black if you don't vote for me." What make him? What make him be able to say that type of stuff, man? Because why? Obama? Because he was Obama. He was on a presidential ticket with Obama, and him and Obama was, in the White House. And to me, Obama ain't black. If you want to act, if you want to just be all the way 100, he's not a black man. He's not. He's technically not a black man, black American man. His
not
mama is.
not
Mama is.
foundationally,
Mama
nah.
is that. His mom is a Irish immigrant who immigrated to Hawaii, and his dad used to work for Granddaddy Bush with the CIA. So
Right,
that's how they got him in there. See, Obama
right.
was what you call a Manchurian candidate, and so don't get me wrong, I voted for him. I voted for him twice, like a damn fool, and didn't do nothing for me the first time. I just voted for him out of sheer excitement. That's why I kept voting for him, because
Absolutely.
that's when my maturity woke up. Like, wait a minute now, this man done made us look like a fool. This man is a whole black dude supposedly, and he didn't do shit for black people. So I'm like, this don't make sense. So I started
Right,
doing some homework. His daddy is a Kenyan. His daddy from Kenya, by
right.
way of Malaysia. He practiced Islam. That's why a lot of the white Republicans and all of them was calling him, a Muslim. They were talking about he's a Muslim, oh, da, 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 da. And so
Yeah.
make a long story short, the man is not a black dude. That's why he didn't do shit for black people.
Nah,
he,
nah,
he,
because
he, he, he
yeah,
couldn't identify with us. He couldn't identify with us.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. Right. So yeah, man. I just wanted to talk about this thing, just kind of, put it in the air, man, because we're gonna talk about it, man. And my show last night, I did a show on immigration. And so that's one of the areas where Trump torched his ass last night. In immigration. He also torched him in foreign policy. This man want to come out and talk about who Trump done been sexing with. Man, don't nobody
Man,
care about no that.
talk
It's a
about
lot of it's a
nothing.
lot of black broken Negroes want to keep coming back talking about, oh, he was lying about the Stormy Daniels stuff. Man, come on, man. You for real, man? Nobody care about this man's sex life, man. Hey, I know I had a couple of bras too, man. I ain't gonna tell you that I smashed. You know what I'm saying? It ain't none of your damn business. For one thing,
It's just irrelevant to be talking about,
it's
man. Those
irrelevant.
at the end of the day, those are not things that affect us as a people. I just don't
Right.
understand why. I don't even want to go back and forth with you about because I live under the rule. I argue with a clown and make two clowns, and if you can't see that, I just don't know what else to say. It's as simple as that. It's really as simple as that. I'm not gonna argue back and forth about what that man did. Who cares that he lied? Man, why y'all ain't talking about nothing that affect us? Y'all the president. We don't give a damn about what y'all talking about with Stormy Daniels.
Correct.
I really don't. I really don't.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
But they
I
play
got
the
another clip
emotional game with us.
I want you to listen to, man. This man here.
Yeah.
This man here dropping hot fire, man. You gotta listen to this guy here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. And this was way back in the damn 70s. This man was dropping this type of game on us, man, and we didn't understand back then. And this man was dropping this kind of game on us way back in the 70s. Check this out, man.
Had a chance, ladies and gentlemen. Had a chance, ladies and gentlemen, right after the civil rights struggle. But after we won the right to be included in all of society's institutions, the enemies of the black community, mostly the white liberals and their Negro allies, designed a movement called integration. What happened to us under the guise of integration was that we lost all of our institutions, with the exception of the black church, and gained nothing.
You heard what he said?
I mean, simply in a nutshell, that's very powerful when you think about it, because it did not benefit us to nothing. It only benefited us to what? To eat in your restaurants with you? Whoop de do. I would have much rather, when I go see the judge or I go see the doctor, I much rather have been with somebody who looked like me. And that's not to say nothing against nobody. It's just that everyone, just like every other animal on this planet, is gonna do what's best for people who look like them. The red ant ain't taking care of the black ant. The blue jay ain't taking care of the cardinal. But they all birds. They all ants. The chimp ain't taking care of the silverback gorilla. They all monkeys, but they go keep to their kind. You're
Yeah,
supposed
always
to.
exactly.
People are gonna do what's. That's why it's frustrating with Obama, and that's how you know he's not foundationally black. Because if you'd have came
Right.
from Polk County, Florida, the streets of Baltimore, you would understand that it's time to do something, put something back in our communities directly, that will directly affect us. Not all this far stretched programs, and not laws. Now programs are made to be taken away. They ain't got no laws. They gave you some programs. That's where integration, they took away all our institutions and gave us nothing in return. We just got up next to you and that's it. But your institutions are still formed in not my best interest. That's just as simple as put.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. Claude Anderson got a story he liked to tell. He said
Yeah,
that he was a professor up at FAMU, one of our alleged great HBCUs in the country, here in these
yeah,
states of America. And he said that sometimes on his lunch he'll go down on on the little Ave right there around the corner from the
yeah,
college, and he said it was a couple of black retailers down there, a couple of black merchants that had shops and this and that, and so also, already know our open enemy gonna always try to take advantage and come into our communities and exploit us with different types of goods and services, right? So
right,
he was just standing there talking to a gentleman one day, an old retired professor, and so he seen this young gentleman get out the store, right? So he came into the black store, right? And
yeah,
so he jumped out the car real fast. You could tell he was in a hurry. Dr. Claude Anderson said, so the man went in there and went into the ice chest, right? And looked at the ice, and he was gonna buy a couple of bags of ice, right?
right,
Say nope, he didn't do it. So he got in his car, he drove across the street back over there to the white merchant store,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Went in there, looked in the ice, went in the store and bought the ice, paid for the ice, came in, grabbed the ice, grabbed 2, 3 ice bags, dropped in his car. He said, before he jumped in the car, he said, hey, young man, let me holler at you for a second. He said, I was just sitting here watching you. Both of us, we just sitting here, we was having a conversation, we were watching you. Now, I seen you go over there to the store, the black store, and you didn't buy the ice from the black store. And then you went across there to the white store, then you bought the ice. What was
yeah.
the difference in the ice that you bought? He was like, man, it just when you buy ice from over there, it seemed like the ice just is a little bit colder. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I just said, man? He said the dude told him that the ice is a little bit colder when you
He
get it from
had to
over
be
there.
joking. He ain't have nothing else to say about that.
That's what he told Dr. Clark. He said the
Man,
ice is a
stop
little bit
playing.
colder when you buy it from over there. And
Man,
so
stop
that take
playing.
me back to that saying, man. Just I get white folk ice water and the ice is colder than ours. It tastes better. It tastes is better. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather drink out that white water fountain. About like the whole argument about they would let
Hey,
us drink out the water fountain. I'm like, who gives a damn?
hey, man. trauma is passed down. We don't talk about that enough either. That's what America won't admit and talk about because they keep this whole trend of what is it? Mental mental illness. Giving them people free tickets on mental when they do some heinous
Trauma.
crimes, right? So no one gave us the mental illness ticket, right? All the trauma we went through chattel slavery and Jim Crow, witnessing heinous things done to each other.
Absolutely.
See, that's passed down. That's why he think that ice a little colder. He don't even know it. Somewhere in his DNA, somewhere around, he done been round and seen something in his life that done told him to respect them people a little bit more. That's things that be passed down, man, on another like psychological level. Again, that's not talked about enough because that's an amazing thing for somebody to say. It's funny, but I mean, your brain really operate like that. That's got to tell you that it's something deeper at play with our mindset.
Exactly, man. And that's the problem, Matt. And I think that's what the biggest problem with us. We so dedicated to the Democrat Party, not doing nothing
Yeah,
for us. I was listening to a blog show today. I don't know if anybody ever heard this blog show that come on YouTube. His name Tariq Nasheed, and
yeah.
this guy jumped on the line with Tariq, and he was like, "Oh Lord," Tariq was like, "Oh Lord, we got one of these Democratic shields. Let's hear what he got to say. Let's hear what he got to say." That's why I was playing some Democrat shields. Come on here, some of them folks that cussed me out, man. I'm talking about, man. I had women cussing me out, professional women
No,
cussing me
no.
out, bro, during the 2020 election. Why you right here telling people I'm voting? And then look at that. Lo and behold, it didn't even matter because they cheated and won the election anyway. So yo, why you telling people don't vote? That's just like you tell people don't vote. That's a vote for Trump. I'm like, man, where do y'all get this dumbass logic from? But the dude jumped on the show today and was like going off on Tariq talking about this and that and what Joe Biden and he gonna vote Joe Biden anyway because you know Trump was lying. He was the one he said he was lying about Stormy Daniels stuff. And then Tariq was like, all right, so okay, I get all of that. So you basically done told us you gonna vote out of fear of Trump. So tell me why are you so what all this stuff that Biden been doing for you then since he been in office the last 4 years? Oh, he did a lot, this and that. He said, well, that's what I'm asking you. Why? What did he do? The dude, well, I ain't really expecting nothing the government to give me nothing. I don't really need nothing. I just need to know that my vote count. And like he say, man, look, man, get your
What?
ass off this line, man. He say, get your ass off this line. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is a perfect example right here of the game goofy Negroes that just voting just to be out here voting to feel good. He said, now this man will come on here and gonna try to start a straw man argument with me, and he don't even know what they did, and he don't even know if he said, well, I really ain't never asked the government for nothing. I ain't, you talking about all these resources that they getting the immigrants and da 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 da. What resources? I was like, Tariq was like, man, these people are crowding your communities, man. In Chicago, New York, these black people are coming out telling you how they taking
Yeah,
over their communities and this and that. You ain't. He said, man, what rock you been living under, man? Well,
right.
I ain't expect the government to give me nothing. Who. Man, he said, man, listen, man, get your ass off my line, man. Get your ass
Right.
off my line, please. So he said, this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about, y'all. You
Yeah.
got gang goofy Negroes like this here, buck broken Negroes that just
Eat.
he said Tariq, I don't want nothing from the government. All I want to do is be able to be good with white daddy. As long as the white daddy and me getting along, that's all I need for my vote. And that's just how Negroes sound right there,
Yeah.
man. That's how
Yeah.
they sound, bro. So it's sad, bro. It's sad. I mean, it's really sad, bro. I don't know what to say no more, man. I've been hashing away, but that's why I'm trying to get this next generation, man. I'm not even Negroes my age, 45, 40 plus, and all of that. Man, if you ain't hold on to this yet, man, you finna lead your generation right into another hellhole of nothing. In poverty, degradation. And then we got the nerves to come out here and be complaining. How you complaining when you won't even get your damn vote right? And I'm not
Right.
saying vote for Biden, Trump. I'm just saying use your vote for leverage. Use your vote demands. Make demands with your vote. That's all I'm saying. we can get a lot out of this shit, man, if we just play the game right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do, man. So yeah, man, you want to chime in on that back? We gonna shut it down. We had a couple other guests coming in tonight, but they ain't really come in and check with us. So we gonna keep it going tomorrow. But like I say,
Oh,
yesterday
absolutely.
we had a great show, man, about immigration and how does immigration affect us. And a lot of people don't understand, man. They're allowing these illegals to come into this country, and they're not coming here to be your friend, bro. They're coming to replace you. And that's what
Yeah,
Biden said Trump said to Biden last night. He was like, yeah, man, you see, Biden's letting him come here because, hey, that's going to be some extra votes for him. He said, because, he let him have it by the blacks. Say, man, look, man, the blacks ain't feeling you no more, Biden. You don't let them down. Black Americans are not rocking with you anymore. He told Biden that. And
yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I've been
I'm,
in this mode right here I've been on code for about at least 7 years now, man. I don't throw my
yeah,
vote away. I vote locally and all of that, but bro, all that national election, bro, if they're not talking about tangibles, if they're not talking about, breaking off a check. I was in Washington, D.C., last weekend, and we was right in front of the White House, man, the Foundation of Black American Community. And man, we was up there stomping the ground, man, right there in front of the White House, FBI building. And they knew we was there, man, and we wasn't bullshit, man. We want tangibles. We want reparations. And we not gonna vote until we get it. You seen that one I just posted? We're gonna vote for the couch. We're gonna vote the couch this year. Fuck
right.
Biden and Trump at the same time. We're not going for none of
Yeah,
that finesse game no more, man. It's time for us to
yeah.
be represented. What was it? No taxation without representation. Who was that? What was the political hero who I think it was it John Adams? Or it was one of them
Mm,
damn dudes. But yeah,
yeah, I
man,
can't think
you
of
wanna
his
give us some
name.
last thoughts, man, before we shut it down, man, here at Urban Matters?
Well, just to talk on your point about even the immigration, since we're talking to a larger audience, and I know I've told this to you before, but I'll say this quick little story. My family came from farming and uh migrating with the seasons. So
Yeah.
since I was a little boy, 4 years old, I was able to see who was out there doing the work. And it was nothing but foundational black people, some few Jamaicans, every now and then some Haitians. But us though, mainly, maybe a sprinkle. So what there were no Hispanics yet. None. I used to get on the bus with my
Absolutely.
dad at 4 o'clock in the morning.
You
So
know, I
what
knew I was
happened?
there too.
Right. So what happened was we realized the pay wasn't going up to match the price of living that was going up around us even back then,
Right.
right? So a lot of us went truck driving. That's where you got that truck driving boom from. My dad ended up being a truck driver. I know a lot of the, foundational black people, fathers was truck drivers because
Yeah.
that was the next. We watching the trucks come in. Okay, we might as well drive the truck that we putting the fruit on.
Yeah.
So I said all that to say this. That's exactly what they're doing is to replace you. They realized that we weren't going to do the work anymore, so they needed new people to come in and do the work, and also under
Yeah,
the guise of right,
the buffer
under the
class.
guise of we do this because we love people and these people are seeking refuge. No, you're doing that because you need cheap labor, and it is a vote to vote Democrat as well to keep you in a system that doesn't acknowledge and pay you for what you're worth. Because essentially that's what's going on. We're not even being paid for what we're worth. You know what I mean? The system could be a democracy could be run great, but it needs a touch of humanity. That's what the problem is.
Absolutely. 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 Because we have to get back to our roots. We
Right.
we need we traded, like you say, integration. We traded that for ownership. And we had ownership of land. We had ownership of crops. We had ownerships of our own way of life. You talk about places like Wilmington, North Carolina. You're talking about
Yeah.
Black Wall Street, Wilmington, Rosewood, Florida, Ocoee, Florida. Those were Black Wall Streets. Fort Worth, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's the only one they really want to talk about. They just finally started talking about that, and then they want to come bring out Juneteenth as if Juneteenth had something to do with Tulsa. Those are two totally different situations. Those are two totally different events, and
Yeah.
Juneteenth. We had a discussion about that Juneteenth. That's another government appointed holiday. You got to always question anything that the government gives you. You know what I'm saying? No, really
Absolutely.
fought hard for that. We didn't really fight hard for that, man. And I know you gonna bless us with one of your lectures about the indigenous knowing our indigenous roots of America, and
Right.
how a lot of our folks we can trace back to some of the early Indian tribes like the Choctaw, the Cherokees, and
Absolutely.
Chickasaw
There's,
Indian tribes.
there's a there's a clip floating around the internet right now of
Right.
Nas, the rapper Nas. You know, his third great grandmother was Pocahontas.
Wow.
So, right. So
Wow.
that tells you, I mean, not just because of him, but a lot of people that we are indigenous to this land. That's why you cannot go back and find any heirlooms, any stories, anything that connects you to Africa. Though we're not trying to say nothing against our cousins, but we need to understand that there's a distinct difference
Mm,
between us in such a way, and even in culture. We have a very light culture, but I think we're coming to find out that every piece of land had an indigenous brown culture. And we
mm,
are Americas, but we have been told the story of we came across the water. And there lies another pillar of our psychosis that
mm.
we're under. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that we could probably say that for another time too, but
Yeah, we're gonna definitely
definitely,
chop that up, man. We're gonna chop that up
yeah,
heavy, man. So yeah, man. Thanks again for joining us tonight, brother Matt. And man, you always
absolutely,
come through like a soldier. Definitely you one of the great foundation of Black American brothers that I tap into right here and download with. We get those down. Me and Matt, we go back and forth. We give each other downloads. You know what I'm saying? And this young brother, man, he definitely standing on his square, and I appreciate it and I salute this brother, man, for sure. That's what we're doing. We're bringing up soldiers.
yeah,
We're bringing up black men of valor. We're bringing up black men that have pride in standing strong and standing within their masculinity. I know a lot of times they want to try to push that. Oh, you're toxic masculinity, as if, man, my man supposed to be masculine. How the hell he gonna be toxic? He's supposed to be masculine.
right,
So and both of us, we got daughters. We have daughters. We raise daughters. My daughters are grown now. Matt, his daughters are just about teenagers, and man, we're
yeah,
girl dads. So we don't miss us with that bullshit about men don't know how to be fathers, and men don't know how to stand in structural relationships, and that's a lie, man. We doing our thing. We got what it is. Our women are starting to be influenced by a group of anti
yeah,
anti black family women who don't want family structure and who don't want a man, and they really want a woman. And so that's a whole nother conversation, brother Matt. Thanks again, man, for joining
absolutely,
us here at Urban Matters. We're gonna shut
for
this
sure.
thing down, man. And I appreciate it, bro. You coming in and standing in the paint, my dude. You a true soldier, like I say. And today's conversation, y'all see it. It was about the knockout last night. Trump knocked this man out. Trump blew this man out the water. And it's just a
Yeah.
perfect example of y'all are voting and you're one of the most underinformed voters out here. And I hate to
Hey,
say this about my people, man, but it is what it is.
the media catching up to what we've been saying for years. You
Yeah,
can look at that.
yeah,
Come on now,
yeah,
it's undeniable. You even got liberal news and
yeah,
Democratic news having to come out and
yeah,
acknowledge this now. So,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
who we got here?
They go, brother E up there in the Kakalaki.
Hey,
What's
what's up,
going
y'all?
on, brother E? We were just chiming in, trying to, give our little input, give our little feedback on that knockout last night. I mean, I know all of us, we really don't care because we all about tangibles. We're all about foundational Black Americans, indigenous Black men, and until they start recognizing us, listen, we are their number one voter base, and we're just not going to be ignored anymore. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, and we're not going to be neglected anymore. You want to chime in on this, brother E?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I I I, I agree that Biden definitely lost. Um, he just doesn't. He seems like he's on his last legs. It's not a good look. I mean, this is as far as like being the most powerful man in the world. The man can barely speak. He sounds weak. He just sounds weak. It's in his voice. He can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even hardly hide it. And
Yeah.
I see a lot online where a lot of black people are saying, well, at least he was telling the truth, even though his voice was. I'm seeing that a lot, and it's so interesting. Like
They have nothing else to
they
say. I was telling Brother Matt
yeah,
that's called desperation talk, Eddie. That's called
yeah.
desperation talk.
But
I
the
call
idea
it
that they believe,
plebiscite babble. It's plebiscite babble. They
yeah,
come up with talking points like that. Well, both of them. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Biden was that dude. He was the dude. He was doing all this for us. What did he do for black people, Ed? What did he do for you since he's been in office, brother Ed?
no, nothing. Give away money to Ukraine, hand over fist.
Man, just let me get $50, man. Damn,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
getting them
Both. I
50
mean,
billion.
what's sad is both of them are up there saying the same things. They're
Man,
saying the economy was the best under them, jobs were the best under them, and calling each other the liar. I mean, you know,
nobody's discussed what are they going to do going forward.
yeah,
Neither one of them answered that question last night. What are you going to do going forward? And they touched on black people for about 30 seconds, and they was done with that conversation. I'm
yeah.
like, look at this
Talking about we
this
need
guy.
help with child care.
Yeah, that was weird. That was definitely weird.
And it's like we're to the point now. It's like we need help with childcare. Why? So we can spend more time away from our children
Yeah,
for someone
exactly.
else to raise them.
I
Right.
got a solution for childcare. Put on a damn condom. Women have all the control and access when it comes to sex. They can control who they lay down with. You mean to tell me you laying down with these people and 9 times out of 10, now you got this man on child support. You also you need child care. You got to do it on child support. Stop laying down with men that don't mean nothing to you.
Yeah, I
You
get
know,
that.
trust me, a woman know, man. I heard her saying, woman know. 5 minutes after she meets you, she knows she want to have sex with you. And is that where we are now as a society? It's all about having sex. What about relationships? What about spiritual connections anymore? Do you realize every time you lay down with somebody, you allow them to input or download a part of their DNA within you?
Hmm.
I had an argument one time with a young lady, and I was telling her, and I proved it to her. When young women are young and their uterus is still young, every man that you sleep with, you walk away from that sexual encounter with his DNA. So when you have your child has another man DNA in him, even in that child, even though that's not the man that you conceived from, but his DNA is still in your child. And them facts, bro. That's biology.
Mm.
Yeah. Now, the older they get, I
That's
think
right.
it kind of alters itself. But in a
Yeah,
young woman with a young uterus, every partner she's have unprotected sex with, he imparts a part of his DNA in her, and when she gets pregnant from her first mate, that baby will have every trait of DNA of everybody that she slept with unprotected.
yeah. What I was
Fact.
saying is that if you're going to call yourself helping, there are a lot bigger issues to tackle than helping them. You know, helping
Yeah.
them take their children someplace else is what
Right.
I'm saying.
There's a lot
That's
of big issues
nothing
with
to brag
child
about.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I thought the conversation was very odd too, because I was like, well, that's what we're talking about, child care for
child care for black people. That's what's wrong. Man, come on now. Come on.
Yeah,
That's our
that's
biggest
the
issue.
problem.
Yeah, it was a very awkward debate. It was. I'm like, the fuck what did he just say? First off, what the fuck did he just say? Excuse my language, y'all. Excuse my
Yeah,
language.
no, it was difficult to understand at points.
Oh
Trump,
my god.
even one time Trump was like, I don't even know what he said just then. I don't even think he know what he said. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Trump said that.
man, listen,
Yeah.
Trump advisors, man, they did a masterful job in training that guy, keeping that guy reserved. And he torched his ass last night, man. He
Yeah.
torched his ass on foreign policy. He torched his ass on
Yeah,
economics. He torched it,
he
man.
always he always had the ability to come back to the immigrants,
Yep.
the immigrants and the money to Ukraine. That's
Yep.
that's huge.
Huge. Huge, man. And he torched him on Afghanistan. He's like, man, look,
Mhm.
man. He like, did y'all hear the comment that he made about? He say, man, listen, the whole entire world is burning down while this guy's in office.
Yeah, that's Trump right there.
I say he ain't lying,
Yeah.
man. Everywhere in the world, man, this shit is on fire, man. Haiti, Israel, Palestine, Iraq, Iran, China, Taiwan, freaking Vietnam, freaking Philippines,
Yeah,
everywhere, man.
uh,
How can he juggle different problems? He can't even juggle different questions. That is really kind of that obvious. He can't really juggle too many questions that given to him at any given time. How could we sit here and figure that he can tackle big issues and multitask? It's just that simple.
Bro,
There's no way he can be a multitasker of those bigger issues if he cannot even multitask simple questions presented to him.
yeah. Also,
I just can't see it.
they keep trying to tout Russia as this big bad, wolf over there.
Yeah.
And if they're still dealing with Ukraine, if this was like 2 years, they cannot
Uh,
consider themselves a superpower at this point.
yeah.
bro, I don't get it, bro. Like I say, that was exposure of perfect example and exposure of Biden has not been running the White House for the last 4 years.
Right.
Somebody is a shadow government behind him running things, man, because this guy is oblivious to what's happening right now in this country.
If
He
that
is
doesn't end his presidency, nothing else will but him leaving.
he's not even coherent right now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
not
mean,
coherent.
so, but how do you feel about the Democrats just putting, choosing some other candidate, a younger guy, obviously?
I heard him talking about Gavin Newsom.
I've
Yo,
heard that before too.
I heard Kamala Harris was hot that they don't want to consider her. I heard she was hot.
Well,
She's an
that's
airhead.
understandable.
They don't want to. They don't even want to consider her. She's the vice president.
Yeah.
Crazy.
My concern is that it'll feel like enough relief that people will actually, um, continue to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, oh,
It's,
thank God, there's a younger guy here who's talking a little bit better. That'll do.
Talking. But that's all they're gonna do is talk and discuss. Like they like to have this discussion about, you know, reparations. I think they call it the HR 40 bill. But that's all
Hmm.
they ever did was studies. But when it comes to Israel, they ain't got to study before they start cutting checks. When it comes to Ukraine, they ain't got to study before they start cutting checks. When these immigrants are touching these shores, they get a freaking a debit card. They ain't got to study nothing. They just
yeah.
Right.
break bread. And like I say, man, that's all I want, man. I'm just trying to get somebody to deal, man, for my vote, man. I don't care. I'm not voting, man, until somebody start cutting some damn checks. Just like Martin Luther King said before they shot him in the head, we coming to Washington to get our check. They don't like to talk about that speech. They don't like to talk about the other speech, for I've led my people into a burning building. They don't talk about the burning building speech.
no, they ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Sad, man. We won't do our homework, bro. We won't do our homework. We are some of the most. I think who that was say that. I think Charleston White say black people in America are the most underinformed voters in the world. They just vote out of fear. They just vote out of dedication, and then they try
Right.
to shame other people in the vote. They want to shame me. How you gonna shame me into telling
Yeah.
me?
If
Yeah.
I think I've been actually thinking about this for a while too. I think it's a point that we should take a look at how they have made like the presidential election almost like a high school drama, or like how they had the vote for the president, class president in high school, right? It's almost entertainment type, right? Because they're, like you said, they're up there talking about each other, calling each other liars. And the only thing that you hear from voters, especially our people, is, well, at least you told the truth. It feels very like, um, you know, whoever can be most popular, whoever can be the most convincing of face value. Nothing of real substance.
Yeah. Whoever does the best job acting.
Right.
Nothing. That's all I'm saying, man. Let's get something, man. I don't care if they just say, okay, all black folks, if you can trace your lineage back to the 1800s, y'all get free taxes for 10 years, no taxes, and free education. And y'all also can get 10 acres of land for $1,000. Something tangible, man.
Yeah.
Because y'all took
Something you
all the
can
land
see.
from us. Y'all took all our wealth. And then y'all not only took that wealth, y'all have capitalized on that wealth. And now you're controlling us at your corporations off the wealth that you took from us. That's why reparations are so important and so needed, because a lot of people like to say, oh, well, my people, those was my ancestors. I ain't had nothing to do with that. Or the Mexicans didn't have nothing to do with that. Yeah, but you're directly benefiting right now today from that. That's why reparations are so important. And that's why you demanding and withholding your vote is so important, so you can weaponize your vote and use it as leverage to make these demands, because you deserve it. If you're a foundational black American and you can trace your lineage back to the 1800s here in America, then guess what? You are the chosen people of this land. All of us didn't come here on no transatlantic slave trade. And if we did, where are all the slave ships at? I can debunk that with one question. Where are the slave ships? All of them got destroyed. That's what you're telling me?
Right.
We won't have a
That's
splinter.
what
We
they're
won't have
telling me.
a life jacket. We won't have a chain or anchor. Come on. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say black people all as a whole don't agree on anything, but we all have the same story about our lineage. We all have the same family stories. That's more than coincidence. All of us have a story about, you know, someone, a relative that's not from Africa. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have stories about Africa or anything African related. We don't have any of those stories. So
None. Do you know any of your relatives from Africa? Have you
no.
ever had your cousin from Africa come over when you were little and say, hey, my name is Umbutu. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Matt. I'm coming back
Right.
next summer. No.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
also don't know
And then
anybody.
even over in Africa, if you want to be all the way 100, their the tribalism that goes over there is like brutal. They literally fight each other. If you're not from a certain tribe, you can't even come to a certain part of Africa. So they try to act like it's so much unity over there in this. And then they got a famous word for us too. They call us akatas.
Oh,
They,
yeah. What
they
that
say
mean?
those akatas are lazy. When you go to America, your parents say, don't mess with the black American. He's a kata. They call us akatas. Go look it up. You ain't gotta take my word for it. Akata, that's a derogatory statement. Derogatory term, I meant to say.
So does it mean is that cotton picker?
No,
Is that
it's
what that
like
means? Oh.
It's like shit eating. It's like you're a shit eater. That's what they're saying.
Mm.
Or you're worthless. You're worthless. You're a worthless black person. Yeah, that's why they act funny with us like that. You don't really see them people come over here and rock with us like that. You have very few, and they might marry into the culture or whatever. But a lot of them, like them newcomers that's coming over here, man, they ain't rocking with us like that, bro. And I hate to just put it out there. And there's no
No.
disrespect, no disrespect to the diaspora, no disrespect to our indigenous. But listen, man, y'all know what time it is, man. Then y'all come over
Mm.
here and try to undermine us. And then when
Well,
we need
right.
the Democrats,
Give it,
and we know the Democrats ain't doing that for us now.
yeah, yeah. I think it was about time for us to make a distinction between the two. That's why that subject has been coming up more and more
Yeah,
popular as well, of us
Yeah.
making a distinction between foundationally black and African. Sure, we do agree, but I mean, you can look at us and tell obviously we're all connected in some form via our bone structure somewhat, and our skin color primarily. But there's a distinction between where we are and where we were, the time period, and where everyone was geographically. And we just have to come to terms that we were all lied to about the entirety of the story of the slave trade. Sure, it you know it happened, but not in the way that they make it seem as all of us came from there. There's too much evidence to point towards that not being, you know, and again, that's probably a whole other house, but there's too much
absolutely.
evidence that point towards us not. And like Eddie was saying, go to none of your homeboys and say, hey, uh,
Mm.
and go get grandma without saying quote unquote what they call the Indian. Obviously, we know that the true name is the Indian. But for the sake of the conversation, everybody running. Oh yeah, my great grandma, my grown Indian. So what does that make you then? What does that make you?
Mm.
Don't
Yeah.
nobody. Everybody got a story like that.
Juice too. Let me ask you this. In the 90s, wasn't Indian a derogatory term?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they
Right.
consider Indian a derogatory term. The correct political term was Native American.
Was Native
Native
American.
American.
I remember that. I
And
remember that. I
now,
remember going to school. Yeah.
yeah, and now that we have decided to start talking about it more and claiming that, now you see they want to be called Indian now.
Right.
After they
Right.
done told us that wasn't them. They done told us Christopher Columbus thought he landed in
And
India
India. Right.
and was in the wrong place. And he
Right.
called them Indians even though they weren't. That's the story they told us.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're trying to say, oh, well, we're just going to claim to be Indians anyway. Why? Why would you claim that?
Right.
If that's not
Something that
you.
you're not.
Yep.
And the answer is
Yep. It
because we're
said that in
onto it
the
now.
journals.
Right.
Well, what
I
they try to
literally
do, they try
saw,
to hijack our stuff, man. Hijack everything, our
yeah,
culture. They want to hijack our music. Y'all need to go check that movie out too, called "Microphone Check" by Tariq Nasheed. It shows you how all of these other immigrant groups want to try to make it seem as if they were the inventors and the founders of a lot of our hip hop music, our jazz music, a lot of our different genres when it comes to
Yeah.
music. Everybody knows that foundational Black Americans were the creators of hip hop. And now, just because y'all was around when all this went down, does not make you the founders. You got
right.
Fat Joe and all of them coming out. Yeah, man. Tariq Nasheed, I'm talking about. Puerto Ricans didn't have nothing to do with. Now, Tariq didn't say that. And then furthermore, he said, man, we 50-50, man. It's 50-50. No, it was not 50-50, man. For one thing,
I won't go that far.
Puerto Ricans back in the days, Puerto Ricans weren't even allowed to congregate with black folks. I know a lot of horror stories where I know about guys used to date Puerto Rican girls, and then their fathers and stuff was like, "Yo," the chick would come downstairs and like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna come right back down here." My pops, they don't let niggers come in the house and stuff. So, that it was that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
so
Yeah.
how can y'all be inventors or something and we wasn't even allowed to be around each other back in the 70s and the 80s? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and on top of that, Jamaicans, they Busta Rhymes and all of them, Busta Rhymes is a Jamaican. So
Yeah.
he's coming out talking all greasy about black Americans too. Oh man, but Jamaicans, well, we were the leader, we were the masters of the sound system. Back then, people couldn't even understand freaking Jamaicans. So there's no way you had that type of influence on hip hop. You guys are all capped right now. What it is, we can't have nothing. They want to try to
Right.
hijack
Everybody gonna try to have their little word of have their little piece when
For
it
real.
comes to hip hop. As far as I remember, man, when I was growing up, everybody always knew hip hop originated with us, and from what I understand, New York. I'm gonna give New York, of course, is props where it's due because that's kind of that start Harlem with the jazz and the tap dance was real big. People probably don't even remember that old movie Taps. Remember that old movie Taps?
Yeah, I remember that.
Tap dancers was a big popular thing
Yes.
back in the early '90s. Tap dancing. Anyway, on the hip hop
And
thing, it was a lot of hip hop scene in New York. So I don't know where they're coming up with this idea with so many people having their input. That's
because they
wild to me.
start, I'm gonna tell you why,
Yeah.
man. Because they start mastering b-boy, and they start mastering breakdancing. So now
Yeah,
they thinking that, oh, yo, we the originators of hip hop. That's why.
no,
Yeah.
I
Why?
And
just
they're trying to add this like intellectual level to it, saying, oh well, the Africans play drums, and they got some sort of tribal rhythmic thing going on where they speak over
yeah,
some drums, and
yeah,
that's what it comes from. It's not.
Yeah,
Then why are they famous
yeah,
for?
yeah.
It?
We go, hey, we go gatekeep this one, y'all. We go gatekeep this one, y'all.
yeah, we gonna gatekeep this one, y'all,
We
for
gonna
sure.
keep y'all ass up out of this one now, for real. We ain't gonna let y'all
Yeah,
have that now.
yeah, y'all got to get up out the paint with that. Miss me with that bull. But that's the thing. They think because they was around that means that they were the founders and the originators. No, I mean
Yeah,
when the
Yeah,
doctor delivered your black ass,
yeah,
he was there when you was born. But that don't mean he was there when you got conceived. So
yeah,
just because he was around when you was born, that's not the creator of your life. Huh? Is that a good analogy for you? No, the doctor just
right.
pulled you out of the womb. That don't mean he would literally inserted you into the womb. So just because he was around, just because you was around, does not mean you're the originator or the creator.
I mean, come on, man. Everybody know, especially when you hear that song, something like that Sugar Hill Gang, right? The
Correct.
hip hop, the hip. Come on.
Exactly.
Who else? Who else started that? Well, I don't hear no Puerto Rican in there. I don't hear no Jamaican.
There you
That's
go.
the first days of hip hop. What are you
There you
talking
go.
about?
There you go.
yeah,
You
And
know,
to be
I
honest with you, it
remember.
wasn't but a handful of them in the 70s. It wasn't number a handful of them here. Anyway, they
Yeah.
didn't really start populating the United States till the 80s, the late 80s, mid 80s. That's when New York and stuff started really getting populated with different immigrant cultures.
Well, it was right. It was a lot of Puerto Rican, and I mean, all that is like they feel like, and I guess they had their part after we started it, though. That's
They
just the
did.
point. After
They
we
did.
started, you definitely played a role in hip hop music. No one's not saying that, but you definitely didn't start it.
yeah,
You definitely
yeah.
Absolutely.
didn't start
But
it.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. All the milestones and things like that are ours. You know what I
Yep.
mean? We've
They
developed
won't
it.
let us have nothing, man. They won't let us have nothing, bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
Damn.
hell, no.
it's it's famous the world over because of us, not nobody else.
Yep.
Nah,
Yep.
nobody else. Fat
They won't
Joe
let us
didn't
have
make the
minority. We
Fat
got to
Joe
split
didn't
all
make
that.
that shit famous. J Lo didn't make that shit famous. Big Pun didn't make that shit famous. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how they
I'm
how they
telling you, bro.
made the world famous.
That's gonna be another discussion for us, y'all. We're gonna get on that discussion here in a minute. I'm telling you, we're gonna say that one for another show. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna pull up the footage, bro, where people like J Lo, Big Pun, Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes talking greasy, man, about us.
Yeah.
They talking,
Well,
and y'all know
hey,
we made Busta Rhymes. If you
hey,
wasn't for Black Americans buying your shit, Busta, you wouldn't be
well,
shit.
we'll take that as a compliment because
Yeah,
we used to that. We used to
Yeah,
that. We should be used to that, but that's why we can't even be worked up about it. Hey,
Can't nobody make you upset unless you give them your consent. We ain't gonna let that make us upset because we know what the real deal is.
Yeah,
Just because they doing all that talking lets you know what the truth is. Y'all, you got to do too much explaining of yourself.
yeah,
We ain't gonna
exactly.
do all that right.
Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead, Ed.
I say all the time, we have no clue what is even going on with other countries and people like that, and they are so pressed about whatever it is we got going on.
We be living. Hey, I got a saying. We be living rent free in their mind every day.
Right,
Rent
Yeah,
right,
free in their
right.
minds every day.
Mm.
I'm just blowed, man. I'm blowed. But hey, you gentlemen, salute you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. We gonna go live again tomorrow, man. Y'all let me know. Hit me up, man. On the inbox, man. Y'all hit me up on the DM and let me know what y'all schedules is tomorrow because I
okay,
got a pretty full day. I mean, we can go live early. What works best for y'all, man? Because we got to get this hot fire out to our people, man. And then I know
For
a lot
sure.
of people, they be like, man, Juwce always coming out with that junk, man, around election time, man. That man need to shut up. Man, I used to have jokers literally call me, man, and just beg me to stop preaching my message that I'm preaching. Juwce, man, you hear me telling me. I say, look, man, I'm glad y'all boys think I'm a hell of an influencer like that. I say, I mean, I'm salute to y'all, man. I thank y'all for that. But look, bro, I gotta do what the ancestors tell me to do, bro. This ain't my journey. This them giving the instructions. And I just know, man, our people are not in a position where we can just kick back and then just come out every freaking election and give our votes away. Not even that, knowing that your vote don't even matter. The electoral college is really
yeah,
the one that decides who's gonna be the freaking president. But they need your energy though, and that's what
Yeah.
you give them, free
I
for
think we
free.
just here to lay some on people's minds, though. You know, not necessarily to convince you of anything. I mean, we just go present the information, and you do as you will. But we hopefully it reach you, and produce some kind of spark, some kind of different thinking in you, because that's just essentially what it's gonna come from. Y'all have to just uh understand that, hey, maybe you don't have it, or there two people can be right at once with the whole everybody, even with the subject of the everyone coming from Africa. That's why two things can be right at once, because some of us did, but a lot of us, probably the majority of us, didn't. So two people can be right at once. Just have an open mind.
Correct, 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 correct. Okay, gentlemen, thank you, man. And like I said, we're gonna try to, you know, and bring some more information. Man, won't y'all come in and host the show, man? I'll just, I'll host it and everything, but y'all guys come in and just chop up one of y'all topics, man. And I love to hear from you young guys, man, because y'all keep me going, man. I love y'all
Yeah,
energy, boy. And y'all fellas
okay,
always on top of your game, man. For sure,
yeah.
man. So just
We'll
set it up.
put something together. Absolutely.
And see,
yeah,
like I can share the screen with you, so you got controls. I've gave y'all controls over the screen, so you can share anything. Even when we're talking right now, you can share your screen, and you have something you want to share with the family. And
Oh,
here at Urban
okay.
Matters Matter,
Cool, cool.
yeah, definitely, man. Salute, gentlemen. Urban
All right.
Media, we love it. This the new black media, y'all. Come and join us again here at Urban Matters Matter live chat. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juwce. This is my boy, Big E, and brother Matt. Salute,
Appreciate
fellas.
you having me. All
yeah.
right. Appreciate
One
you
love.
having me, man. Have a good one.
One love.